and a fantastic mother at that. Um, your experience and you and your sisters and things like that. What are some things that going forward, some things that you look forward to, some things that you watch out for, and like what is that experience like in the modern day age of young women who have children?
For me, it's scary.
Hmm. Why?
Because, well, one, I have a son. Two, he's black.
Right. Well, I would hope so. Right.
That's enough to give any woman
The chills, huh?
anxiety.
And it's funny that you say that because I growing up, I would see like my mom was always so frightened for my safety every time I left the house.
Yeah.
And I remember in high school, I wouldn't come home, like, because I was, you know what I mean, kickstarting my career. So I'm in the studio and our little makeshift studio, and she don't know when I'm like what I'm doing. She knew who I was with, but that's never good enough.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like I'm not.
Can change.
You see what I'm saying? I'm not coming home when I'm supposed to be home. It's dark outside and I'm still out, and it's 9 o'clock at night on a school night. Like, nigga, where is you at? Like, what are some of the things that you fear for in this day and age, especially when raising a young African American male?
I fear him being treated poorly by people that are supposed to be teaching him or protecting him when he's out of my care. So, like, for instance, when he goes to school, are his teachers giving him equal opportunity? Are they judging him harder than they're judging the other students? Are they grading him fairly? You know what I'm saying? Do they have prejudices? Like, and how is that affecting the quality of care that he's getting compared to the other students? You know what I'm saying? That's something that, like, I worry about, or at least I just pray about and try not to worry about. Other kids trying to bully him, or not knowing what's going on in other households and what information my child is being exposed to. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, the situation that he had at his school, and I had to go up there and I had to speak with the other parents because I had another little boy trying to touch on my son and trying to put his hands in my son's pen. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I can't hold his hand at school all day, every day, and I'm not in a position to homeschool him. So it's like...
Not yet.
Yet. So it's like, I have to allow him to go into the world without me.
It's kind of like you're at the mercy of the powers that be.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And the odds are already stacked against him.
And you know what's so crazy? That's one of the reasons why I move the way I move, especially in this world. Knowing that you have to have such a fortress around you and your loved ones. Because if not, you're prone to so many external factors.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? That you have to be reactive to. And as a black man who's grown up in such a situation, like being young black in America, doing especially what I do in the entertainment business, it makes me very cautious of the things that I do, the people that I'm around, and it makes me even more proactive, knowing that as someone who wants to have a family and have children and that whole thing, it makes me a lot more beastly. You know what I mean? Given that my job is to protect, provide, and to a certain extent give that nurturing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's another thing that's, like, I would say is hard, especially from a mother's standpoint, like when it comes to disciplining and just kind of like training your child up in the way that he should go, finding the right balance between love and nurturing and discipline, because it's like, I want you to be a certain way. I want you to be in line, but I also don't want to break your spirit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I do believe in tough love. I do believe, not spoiling the ride. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I also know that a lot of us in this generation are effed up because of how we were brought up, not knowing how to communicate because we weren't allowed to express ourselves to our parents. We never got that practice from a young age. And the thing is like, I know those seeds are very important in the beginning stages, like learning how to communicate, how to express yourself properly. Like, I feel like if parents were more willing to allow that from their kids at a young age, then they wouldn't be young adults and teenagers not knowing how to express themselves. So now they lashing out and doing all kind of crazy stuff and having temper tantrums out in the world. And now they in jail and in trouble and whatnot.
And you know what my biggest thing about that is like, especially in a situation to where, because now the new thing is everyone wants to co-parent.
Yeah.
We want to co-parent. Let's co-parent. That shit don't work. Because when there's two in a household, a mother and a father, you have very much so a polarity.
Yeah.
Right? The problem is men and women are now depolarized and everybody is neutral. The mama is the daddy play the roles of the mama. There is no hot and cold. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? That way when you come together, there's a certain synergy and there's a certain balance and there's a harmony in the household because you have every base from hot to cold covered. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? Because when that child is with their mom, they may get a different experience than when they are with their dad. Yeah. Dad may be bumping rap shit, and they may be all ratchet. You know what I mean? Mama may come through, and it's all, so to a lot of people it may seem like, oh, it's a well balanced, but it's really not. You see what I'm saying?
Because it's not in alignment at the same time.
That child is confused on, like, well, is it good? Is it not? Yeah. You may come to mama's house, nigga, you got to make that bed up. Yeah. You may go to daddy's house.
It don't matter.
Not even have a bed. You feel what I'm saying? So I feel like we have to be more cautious on our intentions when bringing children into the world, because we can no longer afford as African Americans, who number one don't even know our African heritage. We can't afford to continue to fuck up and continue to think that we can co-parent. I believe that if we want to really make a change, we need to start actually having families.
In the home, yeah. It starts
in the home. Mother and father in the home. Mamas and daddies need to figure this shit the fuck out. Yeah. Because there are children who are growing up in the world to where we're chipping them. As soon as they get on your nerves, you put a phone in their hand. You put a tablet in their hand. Now the tablet is raising your child. Now these ads that are geared toward children are programming your child as opposed to you. Right? It's 24 hours in a day. That's 3 8-hour blocks. Yeah. 8 they sleep. The other 8 they at school. The other 8, they with you. 4 out of those 8 hours that they with you got them chipped up. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. So out of a whole day, you only really have 4 full hours with your child. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
And you probably using those 4 hours to shower, feed.
Get ready to get out the door. You see what I'm saying? It's going to take 2 hours to get them. It's going to take an hour to get them out the door, get them in the door. The other 2 hours are meant to feed. Yeah. And bathe. You look up, and the world has raised your child. Yeah. And that's one thing that I cannot allow. You know what I mean? And I'd rather break the spirit in the home and build the spirit in the home with discipline and with love and with affirmation and with wisdom than for them to go out in the world and get wrapped up in all of the bullshit that the world has to offer. Yeah. You know what I mean? So for me, it very much so is a sore spot when I see especially single mothers. Yeah. Because I was raised by a single mother. My dad didn't leave, He passed away, unfortunately, but being raised, I've always had a soft spot for that. Not that I'm Captain Save-A-Ho, but in the sense of I know what that feels like.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine what my mother went through. You know what I mean? Even when I see her now, half of the grays and the dread on her face is because of me. You know what I mean? And because of that, I always want to be a beacon of light to those. I always want to be a stronghold, first and foremost for me and mine, and then let that reflect in the world.
Yeah.
You know, and so I honestly commend you for being able to do the things that you do and how you do it. I wish that the rest of the world, or not even the world, maybe just America, we can come to a consensus and we can grow and we can elevate the level of family we have.
Yeah.
We don't go to Big Mama house no more. We don't have Sunday dinners no more. You know what I mean? Like, everybody out here trying to grind, trying to hustle, trying to flex, where's the family?
We don't have time for family. We'll get back to family when we get where we want to be in life. Now family done died.
Family gone and moved out.
You know what I'm saying? Before you even got the chance
to build. And family is what starts at the birth of it.
Yeah.
It's what starts at birth. And I think we have to get back.
So hard, and he was like, cancer ate my granny before I even had the chance to like show her what I was on. You know? Like he was so busy being on, trying to get to where he was going but the cancer ate her up before he even got a chance to show her.
And I think that's one of the things that spooked me. Given the fact that my father passed at an early age, and when I was 9, and I've been on some like, nigga, I gotta get to this shit so that my mama can see that all of this shit wasn't in vain. That sometimes even just giving her a call, and having a conversation, like even when I went over there to see her the other day, it was like, boy, sit down, don't go nowhere too fast. Let me talk to you. And I remember it used to be like, yo, like we used to be like damn near throwing blows. You feel what I'm saying? Because, you know, mamas be fussing about nothing.
But it really be about something though.
Sometimes they just be fussing because that's what mom and daddy gonna do. They gonna fuss. Especially if you're in their house, they gonna fuss for no reason. They just fuss. Why you cut the light on? Well, it's dark outside, mama. Well, I got these candles. All right. Why you cut the air on, mama?
I'm hot.
It's 110 in LA right now. Open up the door. Open up a window. Turn on the fan. Like, mama, you tripping. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. So now it's like, as I get older, I realize the importance of family. Thanksgiving is coming up. And we spend more time with our own dysfunctional families as opposed to having all our cousins, all our aunties, all our siblings under the matriarch or the patriarch of the family's home. That used to be a thing when I was growing up. Me and my family, we was meeting on, I ain't gonna say the street, we was meeting on that motherfucker. Every holiday, Thanksgiving, Christmas, shit, they was over there Memorial Day, Labor Day barbecuing.
Yeah.
That was the house we meet at. And now it's all these excuses. Oh, well, they owe. Well, Jesse, you don't know what it takes to do X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, listen, it doesn't matter. Family has been degrading year by year. You know what I mean?
Then
like
we had that whole COVID scare. Now everybody's scared to get with each other, especially our elders whose houses we used to meet at.
You feel what I'm saying? So it's a lot to that. And I think that one of the things, especially because I can't speak for young black women. Yeah. I can't speak for that journey. But I know for young black men, the main way to keep us out of jail and out of the fucking cemetery is family. Us getting around family, right? And and us being able to trust our families with our stories.
Yeah.
with our realities and being able to go to our family and get help, whether it's mentally, physically, financially, spiritually. Because as men, that's how we grow. We get in our little bubbles and we grow. Either we grow or we don't. Either you got niggas around you that's going to push you to greatness, or you got niggas around you that push you away from everything great that you're supposed to become.
Yeah.
And I'm blessed because I'm in a circle of black men. All my homies is, we young black men. I ain't got no homies, like, we young, you feel what I'm saying? Who are getting married, who are successful in their careers. Some are gaining more notoriety. And financially, physically, mentally, and spiritually, we tend to always have the bases covered.
Yeah.
We got some that are a little more cynical than others. We got some that are a little more spiritual than others. We got some that are a little more fit than others. And we can always go to those who have those strengths and be like, listen, this is what I'm going through.
Yeah.
And they can be like, all right, well, nigga, you need to get on the program. But the first thing I need you to do is show up. And I'm blessed to be around that. And a lot of young black men don't have that.
I would say that a lot of women don't have that either, because I feel like
that's interesting.
even in friendships, like, something about women is like, you know how there was that saying going around, oh, collaboration over competition.
Yeah.
No, girls don't want to collaborate.
Yeah.
They want to compete. You like, everything's a competition, and it's like, I don't know, it just seems like even when you start off, like, you know, with a certain level of togetherness and or sisterhood, it's kind of like, it's not, I don't feel like women genuinely be wanting to, like, build and lift each other up, or they do only to a certain degree.
Now, let me ask you this. Where are the elders in this situation?
I feel like the problem with them is that they have been through so much that they're always teaching from a level of brokenness that doesn't help us.
Huh.
And that's how I personally feel. Like,
Now,
the
that's
reason
huge.
why, and the reason why I don't go to certain people, I don't necessarily want to say this, but the reason why I don't go to certain women or elder women in my family for advice is because I know that they can only teach me from their level of understanding, and it's always coming from a broken place.
I see.
You get what I'm saying?
They themselves haven't healed.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like, how, for example, how can you teach me
How to be a wife
how to be a wife
or anything.
when you've never had a successful marriage? Or how can you teach me how to serve when you've never had a man worthy of serving, or you've never properly served?
Did this get stronger or what?
You get what I'm saying, though?
I do.
So it's like,
I do.
it's not that the elder women won't, but the message is toxic. And I don't think that it's intentional. I don't think that they're trying to be toxic or they're trying to teach us the wrong way. They're teaching things based off their experience, but their experience was not good.
Right. Right.
And so, like, I know we like to have these conversations about how, like, you know, certain things are the woman's fault or certain things are the man's fault. We're both at fault because we both fell short.
Right.
And there was consequences on both ends. So, because of how men have fell short and how women have fell short, the result is BANs and manly women.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
And for those who don't know what BANs are, those are bitch ass niggas. I just want to set the record straight. For those of y'all who don't know, y'all, they ain't been on spiritual word. Yeah, they set the record straight for a lot of you niggas.
You know what I'm saying?
rest my
And I think that that's just the God's honest truth. So it's like, those of us who want more, it's kind of like we're having to learn it for ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's not too many role models and examples, and then, like, it seems like every now and then when you do get those ones, that they low-key actually be miserable.
Right.
It's like you're playing your role, but you're miserable.
Right.
Like, I guess I can take what I can get from this, but it's like, is that even what I want? You're not happy. Like, you serving the hell out of this man. It looks great on paper, but you're miserable. Maybe I will take the advice of this lady who's saying, like, you know what, don't wait on no man, because at least, but then you're not really that happy either. You get what I'm saying?
Now, my question is...
You're free, but you're not happy.
Now, my question is this, right? My question is because I come from a family to where my mama always talk about Mama Lovey, Papa Joe, right? Papa this, Mama Lovey this, that, and the third, right? We had big mamas, right? And I don't know about you, but I'm sure y'all had big mamas too, right?
Big mama died when I was young.
But see, I didn't even get to see my big mama, you know, and what happened to, because honestly, I don't think they was happy either. I think that after a certain point in our lives, happiness shouldn't be a factor. Right? Well, happiness is such an emotion, it's so fickle, right? Yeah. Joy is a state of being.
Yeah. For
me, I look up and I say, well, do I want to be happy or do I want to be surrounded by the people I love the most?
Yeah. And
whatever.
Finding joy in that.
And finding joy in that, whatever you know why? Because I've realized that's going to cost me a hell of a lot more than me wanting to be happy is.
Yeah.
As a man, I know that I'm going to get up every day and provide for these little motherfuckers who are so ungrateful.
Yeah.
And I have to bite the bullet. And I'm not going to complain. When Father's Day come around, I'm not going to be like, oh, y'all got me Wizard Tie, huh? And the same box of cigars y'all got me last year, huh? All right. You feel what I'm saying? I think that for men, it's more so, you know, I don't want to be happy, right? I want to be successful. Me being a successful man isn't me being happy. It's my purpose, right? I find purpose in overcoming fear, overcoming obstacles. Most happy men are complacent. I'm happy at this level, let me stop.
Yeah.
Right? For women, what do you think has to happen for you all to understand duty, or it's for you all to get to a place of duty rather than this idea of happiness?
I think
that every woman wants. Or do you think that it's possible? Or do you think that a woman should have duty instead of happiness? And maybe as you grow and you mature with that person that you built with, you get a little bit of both.
I think that you get a little bit of both over time. I think that there's ups and downs, and there's periods where it might not be as joyous. You get what I'm saying? But yeah. I think that you can find happiness in your duty. I think that there's certain things that as long as a woman has these certain things, it's enough. I know we like to think that women are just so ungrateful, you know what I'm saying, and are never satisfied.
I'm not going to say women, but these bitches be ungrateful as fuck. You can continue, baby.
I think that, and I think I posted earlier too, there's like 5 key things that it's like if we have those things, even if everything's not picture perfect, there's still a level of satisfaction that makes duty worth it. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So even if I'm not 100% happy 100% of the time, having these things make my duty worth it, regardless of the emotion of how I feel. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm protected by you, I'm spiritually covered. You know what I'm saying? I can trust you with my heart. Like if something happens, I can come to you. I can lay my head on your shoulder. I can cry to you. You know what I'm saying? If I can do these things, then at the end of the day, whatever my duty is to you as your woman, your wife, whatever, it's worth it. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Even when the happiness emotion fails. Right. Because it's like, okay.
Or fades.
Fade. You know what I'm saying? Because it's at the end of the day, the 5 things that I need to get through life's ups and downs, I have it. So what you need, I got you. Whatever. You get on my nerves. Let me hurry up and do this though, because it's worth it.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, we all want to be loved, and we all want to be cared for and appreciated. And no matter how bad we think we don't, we all want family.
Yeah.
And I've kind of had to take a step back from my family.
Yeah.
Because at times I felt like I wasn't appreciated, I wasn't valued, and sometimes you got to take a step back so that they understand that your presence is real in this earth. Because one day, right, I won't be here.
Yeah.
And it'll be the essence of Jesse Janari Sanders that sticks.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? It's going to be the memories of who I was as a man that sticks. And I want that to outlive me.
Yeah.
Who I actually am. Right? Not when the camera's on and niggas get to doing the funny shit. You feel what I'm saying? And I want these conversations that oftentimes we have off camera.
Yeah.
Right? I want the essence of how this feels to live on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I gotta keep going because I know Big Daddy wouldn't want that.
Yeah.
I know Big Mama wouldn't want that. You feel what I'm saying? I know Papa J wouldn't want that for me. I gotta move a certain way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what I live for because I think even in this business it's more so, you know, everybody trying to get rich.
Yeah.
I've been rich, just short on money. I've been rich though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I don't need the same things that another person needs to feel joy.
Yeah.
There's plenty of times I done walked in, phone off, no money, ain't knowing how I'm gonna eat, and I'm happier than the nigga there with the most money.
Yeah.
And to me, that's crazy. But I have certain things that they may not.
Yeah.
Family, a good woman, reliable people. You feel what I'm saying? That are always in my circle and in my corner. And I've realized that as time goes, when I'm not appreciated, I take a step back.
Yeah.
For me.
I think that women value being loved and men value being respected.
For sure. For sure. And how men show our love is a lot different than how y'all want us to.
Yeah.
Right? Like I show my love by getting up every day and figuring this shit out.
Yeah.
Getting out here, flipping over tables, knocking on doors, socking niggas in the face, trying to figure this shit out. Because I have to bring that home. Right? And I'm not just bringing it home to me. I'm bringing it home to everything connected to me that I love and I cherish immediately.
That's why I think it's still important to like understand your partner's love languages.
For sure.
Because it's one thing to love somebody how you want to love them, and it's another thing to love somebody how they want to be loved.
For sure.
But I think that there's also a certain level of understanding that has to be had to where it's like you could be in the middle. So if I know that the way that you show love is a certain way, then it's like I know that when you're doing those things, okay, this is that. You know what I'm saying? Even though I still might have certain ways that I desire to be loved, as long as you're aware of those and it's not ignored.
Right.
That's another thing. That's why I think that when you're partnering with somebody, like I said last night, like it's imperative that when you're vetting the person that you're going to be with, that their values align with your needs. So if your needs are, for example, even though we know that I'm not the best in this department, but I'm working on it. If your needs are, a woman that cooks and prepare, like if you need meals prepared for you each and every day, X, Y, and Z, then you want a woman that values cooking.
Mind you, just to set the record straight, I can cook damn well myself. Can I not?
Please, y'all get some proof in one of these next uploads.
I can cook damn well. And I only ask for what I can provide in return.
Yeah.
Most niggas ask for what they cannot provide.
Yeah. But do you see how that's important?
I do.
Because
I do.
If that's a need of yours, and let's just say, for example, I could cook as good as you.
Right.
If I value cooking and
I
will. I know that I will, because it's not an option, because I plan to keep my man. But if that's something that you need and that's already a value of mine, your need will always be met.
Right.
Do you understand?
Right.
And it's not like you have to beat a dead horse and like pull teeth to get your needs met, because I already value that. If I don't value it, then it's gonna be like, okay, you need this. I'm not gonna give it to you for what? I don't care. It's unimportant. I don't.
Right.
So now it's like, now you have this deficiency and this thing that's brewing of frustration within you and in your relationship. You get what I'm saying? And now we're introduced to cheating and all the BS. You get what I'm saying? So it's important to like, and it doesn't have to be everything, but like, you know what I'm saying? 80-20, 80-20. I need 80% of my needs to be your values. Yeah. In order for this to work, otherwise you're never going to be satisfied. Right. And it's not going to work. Right. There's always going to be a clash.
I like that. Say that again. Your needs should be my values.
Your needs should be my values. I like that. And my needs should be your values.
I like that.
In order for it to work seamlessly.
I like that.
Things can be learned and obtained, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, for example, I'm not the best cook, and I know that's a need of his. I'm going to take a cooking class. I can develop that skill because I very much so value eating healthy and good meals. It is my value. But yeah, I think that's a major key in relationships. 80-20.
80-20.
You know, I might have two needs that aren't your values, but as long as the other ones is, we good. We can make it work. Compromise. You know, relationships are about compromise too.
I think.
You don't have to settle. Compromising and settling are two totally different things.
And I don't like compromising. Relationships are about servitude. Relationships are about serving. Right? When you compromise, sometimes compromising has such a negative connotation. Yeah. Serving never has a negative connotation. Yeah. Right? We are meant to serve one another in one way or another. Yeah. Right? I don't feel like I compromise. I feel like I serve. That's my job. Yeah. Like we talked about the other day. And it's funny because like we doing this now, but we talk like this when no one is watching. Yeah. Right? And we not fucking perfect. But the conversations have to be had. You feel what I'm saying? Because I don't want you to be like, damn, I settled. Like how we had in the car the other day. It was like, well, most women marry up because most men settle. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? And once you get to the point to where the best marriages and the longest lasting ones are one serving the other. Yeah. Every time. The one being served, serving the other when it's his time or when it's her time. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's all about servitude. I cook, she clean. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? And in the future, it's gonna be I make the money and she spend it. Then fuck it. Balance. You feel what I'm saying? Because as you see, I'm not a frugal. Like I'm very frugal. Like I'm not a just spend. Shit, I go to Target.
Yeah, we'll see.
Please, I go to Target and that shit. I went to Target and spent. I got 3 things. That shit was
$200.
$858.32. This
Really?
shit's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's getting spooky out here.
For a loofah and toothpaste.
Today at work, I was like, hey, how are you? He was like, I'm doing good. He was like, another day, another $50.
You gotta change that mindset, my nigga.
I was like, oh.
Pass me some of that.
He was like, the way inflation's going these days, another day, another $50.
I should have just brought the whole little whoopty. We coming to a close.
We are coming to
Put
it.
that over that. Because we about done with this.
I'm hot.
Look at you. Keep the camera rolling, take some of those clothes off.
I told you it was going to turn into a sex tape. It's too much.
Now she want to get freaky deaky.
I'm hot. It's hot on this heat up blanket. I was trying to.
You didn't need that. You got your ass busting. Here you go.
We out. Turn this off.
We ain't even done yet.
We not?
We have to close out.
Oh,
you
my
rude
bad.
as hell.
I thought we did. Shit. When you grab that cup. Okay. In closing, being a young black mom, it comes with its challenges, but it also comes with its rewards. My son will be great by all means necessary. I will overcome the challenges that being a young single mother entails, even though I'm not 100% single, just only on paper.
Only on paper. Here you go.
Only when it's time to do my taxes. Technically, and if anybody asks, yes. No help. I have no help. I need help. Help me. I need a discount on anything I owe.
You stupid.
Yeah, so it's not impossible. We do it every day. Statistics say that it's supposed to be 4 to 1. But it's 1-on-1 around here. Plus some extra miscellaneous help, which I'm totally grateful for. Marriage is important. I want to be married someday. Relationships are not easy, but they are worth it. If you do it right, if you have a heart to serve, and you're not selfish, you can have a successful relationship and or marriage. And what else did we talk about? Where do we start? Oh, and don't judge people. Who are you? Who are you to judge? Please. What's the saying? Before you get to pointing the speck in somebody's eye, make sure you get the log out of yours. All I'm saying is the measure in which you judge will be the measure in which you are judged, and then some.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay?
I feel like we know what the hell real quick.
Okay? So if you guys want to make a U-turn, I would suggest that you...
You sound like one of the ladies at the pearly gates and shit. I feel like the pearly gates is the DMV. How you judge is how you will be judged.
And then some.
Now they give you the rundown. And
Tenfold. And that's just the God's honest truth.
Pearly gates.
That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Think about it.
But
what was the analogy? I thought it was hot when I came up with it. Think of it like an investment. You never really break even. You lose or you gain.
Oh God.
But you ain't gonna break even. So when you making them negative investments.
That's a lot of S's. How many investments niggas is making?
Please.
But honestly, too close. Some people are bills, others are investments. Choose wisely.
As he did.
Don't judge. And understand that family is the ultimate wealth.
I agree. Thank you, guys.
And with the holidays coming up, I really, I pray for those who are struggling in the family department. I pray for those who have lost family, who have bondage over their finances. I pray that God does a work in their lives. and he continues to work in ours as well. And you know, the holidays is such a tricky time for a lot of people. It's when it's when a lot of the things that we bury during the hot months come out.
Yeah.
And I pray that in November, as quickly as possible, we start to mend the relationships that we have let fall by the wayside.
Yeah.
And I know it's a little bit early, but you know, we kind of just wanted to have a conversation that kind of deals with a lot of things that are going on in this season.
Yeah.
And maybe we can talk about money in the latter conversations.
I'm with that.
Right? And we can talk about a few different issues and a few different, you know, topics.
Yeah.
But I did want to close out with that. So till next time, folks. Later.